Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be reading Diary of a Wimpy Kid the Event, or also known as Diary of a Wimpy Kid Them. It's pretty popular and I thought I'd read it because it did seem pretty interesting, but I also am on a new mic, so bear with me. Hopefully I will have my old one fixed for next week, but for now I'm going to be using this mic. It's not that bad. Also, I'd like to really say thank you for 1.5k. We could get to 2k pretty soon, I think. So make sure to smash that subscribe button if you like Wimpy Kid content and if you want to toe punt Manny across the room. Anyway, let's get straight into it with Diary of Wimpy Kid Them. It all started around noon. Dad called from work telling us that he would not make it home since authorities advised not to go outside. At first I thought it was because of the snow, but the sirens outside made it very clear something much worse was going on. Manny was acting weird. He was fussing and talking gibberish. Not long after, the power went out, leaving us in the dark and cold. It was around 9 p.m. when I heard Mum outside, begging us to open the door. This wouldn't have been an issue if Mum was not standing right next to us when this happened. That night, we didn't sleep, and whatever was outside didn't either. It has been a week since this all began, and things aren't looking too good. Mom just stares at the wall now, no matter what we do, and Roderick locked himself up in his room. Fortunately, Rowley showed up and he seemed fine. He told me that his parents weren't home when it all began, and he hasn't heard of them since. So I had let him stay with us. He helped me bury the Bates today, so we actually managed to get everything done before nightfall. Manny has been hidden in the treehouse for a while now. He's been leaving some squirrel carcasses outside, and since it seemingly keeps them at bay during the night, we started doing the same. I have no idea where Manny gets those squirrels from, but there's one thing I've learned during this week is that some things are better left unanswered. Something happened to the moon yesterday. Moonlight came in through the window during the night, brighter than the sun on a shiny day. Not only did it make me uneasy, but it also made the things outside agitated. Fearing the worst, me and Rowley grabbed whatever supplies we had at hand and locked ourselves in the bathroom. Thank God we boarded up the doors and windows yesterday. There was a knock on the bathroom door. It was Mum. She told us that the moon was beautiful and that we should take a look. She started getting more and more insistent after a while, banging the door and urging us to reveal ourselves to it. That was probably the longest night of my entire life. When the sun rose on the next day, Mum was gone, and so was our car. I don't think we'll be seeing her anytime soon, not that I wanted to. We had at least 3 other emissions this week. That's the name we gave to that moon phenomenon. It seems to happen randomly at nights without any warning, so we started keeping curtains closed after nightfall. Oh, and Roderick finally showed up. He came out of his room at around during noon. Surprisingly, he seemed fine, except for a very nasty burn on his arm. He told us that the moonlight caused it. He wasn't feeling so well, but at least he ate the food we gave him. As for Manny, I haven't seen him around for a while now, which is bad actually. We're running out of squirrels, and there's no way I'm using our limited supply of food as bait. We're going to find some stronger wood to barricade our windows, because things outside get nasty during emissions. If they manage to get inside, there's no way we'll be able to fend off so many. Hell, I don't even think there's a way to kill those things. Well, speak of the devil, Manny appeared not long after my last entry. The thing about Manny as of lately is that he just shows up, out of nowhere. I randomly find him around the house, doing normal things like grabbing food and going to the bathroom. Then he turns a corner and, poof, he's gone. I found him on the living room today, watching TV. He just sat there, staring at the blank screen, quietly. He never responds to me or anyone else, so I didn't bother him this time. Roderick has been feeling a lot better recently, and he has become strong enough again to help us gather supplies and stuff. Today we managed to get his van going again, so he might be able to do better supply runs now. His arm is still looking nasty, I thought, but he said he doesn't hurt. It itches like hell. I hope it doesn't get infected or anything, because as far as I know, he's the only family I have left. I went to check on Rowley just after I woke up today. He seemed pretty shaken up. When I asked him what was wrong, he told me he had this nightmare where we both got into a fight, and it escalated to the point of aggression. He said that in the dream, he had grabbed the lamp and smashed my head open. I assured him that I was alive and well. It was just a bad dream that would never actually happen. I gave him a little bit of chocolate that we had left, and that cheered him up a bit. After giving him a reassuring hug, I asked him to check on Roderick. Truth is, I need some alone time after that. Probably should have told him I had the exact same dream. It's been a while since I last updated this thing. A lot has happened in the last week. Roderick is dead. His arm was getting worse and worse. I knew I should have done something. I looked everywhere for some medicine, antibiotics, whatever, but I didn't find anything. Happened a few days ago. Roger said the itching was getting worse and more unbearable, and he kept scratching it again and again and again. I felt itchy just from watching. Me and Rowley woke up in the middle of the night to the sound of him furiously scratching. I was expecting something bad, and I got something much worse. There wasn't a lot of arm left when we found him. He just kept scratching, grinding away for the skin and everything else, all while looking me dead in the eye, telling me that he wanted it off. And that's when that thing jumped at us. At first I thought his arm had fallen off, and then I realized it was moving on its own. I was frozen in place, but thankfully Rowley grabbed the closest object to him and began to hit that abomination. He didn't manage to kill it, but at least it crawled away to God knows where. I just ran to Roderick, foolishly thinking he'd be okay. He was pale and he wasn't breathing. I think that either shock or blood loss is what killed him. It's hard to remember what happened after that. I only remember screaming at Roderick, begging him to get up. Oh while Rowley pulled my arm and hearing something breaking downstairs. I didn't notice back then, but they had managed to get in. Maybe they broke our crappy wood boarding. Maybe that damn hand let them in. I'll never know. I really have to give it to Rowley. He managed to keep his head on the game, even when everything was going south. He dragged me all the way to the garage, and while I screamed at him for leaving Roderick behind, he got us in the van and floored it. I don't remember much after that, but I'm pretty sure I passed out during our trip. Rowley woke me up an hour later, telling me we had arrived at our school. It seemed like a really bad idea at first, but Rowley said he had seen lights in the building and decided that it was our best hope. And it turns out he was right. Two guys approached the van and told us to get out. It was dark, but I could see their faces. I knew one of them, Tony or Timmy or something, one of our classmates. He had told us to stay put and not to move a muscle. They were going to test us. I don't remember much after that, but I don't really want to. My ears are still ringing from that. They were seemingly satisfied with the result because they let us inside. The entire building was boarded up and blockaded, and just like Rowley said, fully lit up. Seems that we weren't the only ones that survived. They took us to the principal's office, where we met the Afro nerd himself. Honestly, I shouldn't be surprised by the fact that Alex was the head of this small group. We all knew he was an absolute genius, a fact that always got him elected as class president. He mostly asked us a few questions and told us that anyone and everyone was welcome to the group as long as they pulled their weight. They were then dismissed to go to the gym, which is repurposed as one big dormitory. So yeah, this is our life now. Plenty of other people from school ended up here as well. I'm kind of glad for that. I'm nothing against Rowley, but I'm happy to see other people as well. Talk to and discuss things with them. I'm supposed to do laundry tonight, so I'll be busy for a few hours. I'll try to keep this diary updated whenever I can. Wow, it's honestly been a while since the last time I've updated this thing. Honestly, we've all been pretty busy for the last 3 months, surviving and all. Our route is tough but fair. Yesterday, Joel got caught stealing food from storage and got beaten pretty badly for that. Maybe back when things were normal, I'd say that was unfair, but now I can't. Winter will be arriving shortly, and the small generator we found is probably not enough to feed the heating system. We looked for wood, but it's all charred or reduced to mush. Everything is pretty quiet now, even at night. I haven't seen animals around during these last months. No deer, birds, squirrels, nothing. I think the moon has affected them too. And we haven't heard much of Ellen lately, and that makes me uneasy. One thing I've learned from watching horror movies in the silence is just the beginning of something awful. Oh, sorry, you haven't heard much from them lately. I don't know why it's like looks like that. It happened. Deep down, I knew something like that would, but I kept lying to myself, thinking I'd be safe inside the school. We were all so stupid. I was talking to Holly in the cafeteria who was serving the food. It was just small talk, honestly. We never knew each other very well, and the apocalypse never changed that. That's when Fragley showed up. At first, I just thought, yep, that's the same old Fragley. I was pretty sure that out of all of us, Fragley would be the least affected by this whole thing. But then I remembered. I haven't seen Fragley here before. No one ever mentioned anything about him. Everything went downhill after that. Fragley, quote unquote, then just shuffled towards the nearest person. Holly, limbs and body contorting in ways I never imagined something could. I don't know if I was lucky because I wasn't targeted, or unlucky for witnessing what that thing did. I just can't describe what happened to Holly. She just stopped existing. All I remember is the screaming. Later at the dorms, I tried drawing what I saw, but I gave up. I can't remember it. My mind just goes blank. I don't want to remember. All I know is that everyone ran for their lives. evacuating the cafeteria and barricading the doors with desks, chairs, or anything they could find. I heard screaming from inside, pleading and begging for us to open the doors. We didn't know if it was from other people or more of those things. I can't tell which is worse. Thankfully, Rowley managed to escape that mess as well. He was shaken as I was, but alive. It's hard to be certain, but I think we lost at least 4 people because of Fragley, and everyone else was pretty pissed at Alex because of that. You said we'd be safe, Aruda. Yeah, what happened to that? Aruda just barely managed to calm everyone down, talking about rebuilding and whatnot. Everyone knew it was bullshit at that point, but we all wanted to believe that everything was going to be fine and went with it. I knew very well since the beginning that we'd never be safe. What can a bunch of high school students do against those things anyway? At least Rowley's still around, my best friend. The last person that I care about is still alive. That's the end, guys. I don't think there's more. I think this ended like quite abruptly, but that's all I have from this fan fiction. I'll try and read something longer next week. I am on spring break now, so hopefully I can stockpile videos for the month of March, so I don't have to be stressed and record stuff last minute like I'm doing today. But anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure to like, subscribe if you did, and thank you so much for 1.5K. Peace out.